Y'all, excuse the audio if this audio is trash because the air conditioner is going. I don't have a mic in. You can hear Sokka's tank and all that stuff, but let me tell you, y'all, I think Luke Hemmings is dropping his first solo album. No, because we're not ready. We're not ready. Like, this album is going to be so good. Luke Hemmings is really that guy. Okay, so I said this in my last vlog that I could write a book about being a fangirl, and one of my focuses, one band that was my focus was 5 Seconds of Summer, because they are a really good band, and I feel like I've grown with them as a band. Like back in the day when they were touring with One Direction, and it was like they were very much in like the little teen fangirl scene. I was there and I really enjoyed their music. It still slaps to this day. Their old music still hits, but as the years went on, I feel like they really grew very well. They really got deep into their sound. They found their little thing. They've just been really good, you know. They've been living their lives, you know, getting married, all this stuff, all this beautiful stuff. And Luke is getting married now, all of these things. Look at the fangirl in me coming back up. She's like rising from her grave. But I think that they are very, very talented individuals, and I think their band works together. But Luke Hemmings, his vocals, he just gives. Like, he's the type of artist that just gives. He gives everything he needs to, and I'm really excited for this album. I know it's gonna be good because he's an artist. Like, I think the reason why I meshed so well with 5 Seconds of Summer is because, like, they really care about their art and just being artists in general. Like, I don't think that they're doing it for record sales or for fans or for any of that. I mean, of course, obviously that has something to do with it, but I think it's mainly because they just, you know, just want to express themselves. And I get that vibe from Luke, and he is just so great. This album's gonna be good. I haven't been this excited since Harry dropped his first album, and let me tell you why. Because, like, out of all the band members of One Direction, we all knew that Harry was just gonna give something that was legendary. Like, we just knew the music, the artistry, his own particular sound, amazing. And I really feel like Luke Hemmings is gonna provide that level of artistry. Obviously it's gonna be completely different because they're completely different artists, but it's gonna give. Should I do a reaction to it? This channel is going south. People are gonna log onto my channel like, what is this? Like, I'm seeing reaction videos to Luke Hemmings. I'm seeing meditations. She's crying on camera. Listen, this channel has no set thing. It is just me doing stuff. So enjoy all of the different expressions of myself. Let the melody move you. Let the something da-da. Feel the rhythm and just let go. Get it into your soul. I'm on Disney Plus because that's what I like to do at least once a week to cater to my inner child. And I usually always have this weird dilemma where I cannot choose what to watch. I'm like, oh my god, there's so much good stuff to watch on here. I don't know what I'm feeling. Am I feeling a Disney Channel original movie? Am I feeling a cartoon like Kim Possible? Am I feeling like a TV show, That's So Raven, Hannah Montana, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Sweet Life on Deck, Jessie, Wizards of Waverly Place, Even Stevens, Life with Derek, Sunny with a Chance. I can go on and on. I did start watching Hey Arnold last week. You see my dilemma here? I be watching iCarly, which I might just turn on. Shoot, I may even watch Jimmy Neutron because I was a Nickelodeon girl, but I did enjoy Disney Channel. I did. I pretty much watched everything on Disney Channel up until it started getting dumb. Like after Good Luck Charlie, it wasn't giving. It wasn't giving what it was supposed to have gave. My point was, every time I want to watch something, I spend more time looking for something to watch than actually choosing something to watch, because everything is so good. It's really important for you to take time out of your day, not out of your day, but like out of your month, to watch Don't You Dare Fall. This curtain keeps falling. I could also watch Halloween Town, because I had started watching it with my friends over their house last week too, and I wanted to finish it because it was good. I understand Halloween Town in a whole different light now that I'm like consciously aware. Where the heck is my Moldavite? I'm just gonna watch Ice Princess because that's what's in my head right now. Is it on here? Ooh, but wait. Princess Diaries. I don't know what to watch. I don't know what to watch. You see my dilemma. I think I'm gonna watch Ice Princess because I've been watching a lot of Olympic stuff because the Olympics are coming up, and I really enjoy figure skaters, and Ice Princess was one of my favorite movies. If you are an Ice Princess girl or boy, if that was one of your favorite movies, we're in the same category of coolness. Ice Princess, Stuck in the Suburbs, it's giving Luck of the Irish, Eddie's $1,000,000 Cook-Off. What were some other ones? There's just a group of movies that if you really rocked with those movies, we're on a whole nother level of cool. Like, but then again, I think now Netflix has all Twilights. Let's see. New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn Part 1, Breaking Dawn Part 2. Wait, but there's also a third movie too after. Wait. Because I love me a good guilty pleasure movie. That's it. I need to pick something. I'm watching Ice Princess. It's done. It's settled because I will go on for days. I will go on for days. And this clip needs to end. It needs to end. So the goal is to get a tattoo tomorrow. Or I don't know if I'm going to be actively vlogging the tattoo experience tomorrow because I am currently in the process of my moon cycle. And I am currently still in the PMS stage. I believe that I will begin bleeding either tonight or tomorrow. I feel like it'll be between those days, and tomorrow is the day that I get the tattoo. I know for sure that I will definitely begin bleeding tomorrow, and therefore I'll be really crampy, I'll be really exhausted. I will just want to rest, and I also just want to be in the moment. I want to live in the experience. I just want to be in the moment sometimes and be in the experience and have moments in my life that aren't going to be on camera or on like my YouTube channel. But also it would be also really good content, so who knows, maybe I will vlog it. But also, because I will be having my moon cycle, I also do not want to work. I'm probably going to make a video about this eventually, where I have like a sit down chat about moon cycles and not working and keeping it sacred and intentional if you can. And I am able to keep my moon cycle as sacred as I would like, and as intentional as I can, because I do not have to go outside and work with other people and have a lot of people around me, and just exerting my energy in ways that I really don't want to, especially during my moon cycle. And I get to have that experience through the week of PMSing, and also while I'm bleeding, and then post bleeding as well. And that's a really beautiful blessing. And so therefore, I do not have to create content on my period. If I'm being honest, I feel like we're all afraid of being lonely. And there are some parts of me who feels like the creator feels the same way. Or not that the creator is afraid, because fear is something that the creator made. I don't think the creator is afraid. I just think that sometimes the creator is like, it's only me. There's literally only me. And I don't really know all that I am capable of. So let's find out. And it's going on this like ever-flowing, ubiquitous, divine, orderly chaos, and it's a very beautiful thing. It is. Am I making sense? I've been really trying to deprogram and let go of old indoctrination and heal tons of trauma that's kind of locked in my body, locked in my being. As of right now, I'm still working out those kinks, those things that are locked up in my physical body, that are stored away in my subconscious. All of these things, just about like, just indoctrination. I'm just trying to unlearn, and I am trying to just explore the different parts of me as I am healing. And in the beginning, it was a lot more scary than it is now. Hence the crazy amount of anxiety that I was navigating through, which still happens sometimes, but it is a lot easier these days, because I am finally getting used to this newer state of being, this newer presence, this new state of being, this new way of who I am. And it's always going to be ever changing. It's always going to be flowing. It's always going to be turning into something different. And what I just need to do is to just go along with it. And I feel like when you're a child, when you're younger, it's a lot easier to kind of go along with the flow. And then you reach like your teens and your young adulthood, and you become extremely self-aware, and you begin to realize that the world is a lot different from the eyes of who you are now than when it were a child. And you just become very self-conscious, and you have all these things working out in your head, and you don't really agree with your parents or the people around you, and society is changing, and it's all this crazy stuff. So then you throw the universe wanting to no, I don't want to say that. So then you just throw a level of awareness on top of that. I don't want to say like a spiritual awakening, but I'm just going to say that for this segment's sake. So you throw a spiritual awakening like on top of that, and a quick one at that, which of course it never ends. You're always going to be constantly exploring the depths of your divinity in this carnation and any incarnation and in the crazy chaotic flux of the cosmos. Of course you're going to be learning, but just this flow of this human experience, and you begin healing because you have no choice to, and you begin to see things and experience reality for what it is, and you really begin to become comfortable and aware of your emotions and your feelings and your body, and just this love begins to show up, this I don't know, this love, this presence, this awareness, and you feel your divinity, and you begin to step into your divinity. And it's not as easy as I think some people may think it is, or it's not as glamorized as especially now, as like social media is making it. These little like 17-year-old white girls are making it. It's really not that. It's not like you're gonna go get your crystals and like peace, love, positivity, and like you feel so great all the time. That sounds horrible. That sounds like a hell state if you ask me. But it's really not like that. And sometimes it is really scary. And sometimes, a lot of the times, it does feel lonely. And it takes work of unlearning. And you begin to realize that healing is a cycle. And so a lot of things keep coming up. Like the clip I put earlier. Like the clip I heard earlier of me crying, and every time those triggering moments come up, it feels a little bit better, because healing is a cycle. Something triggers you, and you work through it. You let your emotions come. You really sit with your emotions. You feel them out, and then you let them go. And you're like, oh, okay, I feel better. I feel a little bit better now. And then maybe the next day, or maybe the next week, or the next month, or sometimes even years pass, and it comes up again, and you go through the process again, and it keeps coming until one day it doesn't trigger you anymore, or you don't think about it anymore. That happens, and you just begin to fall in love with the process. I'm saying you, but in reality, I mean I. A bug flew on me. One thing that I've really been feeling a lot these days, with the help of beautiful plant medicine that is legal in New York, because I use it with intention now instead of a good time. But one thing that I have been feeling, especially with the help of plant medicines, is an incredible state of presence, to the point where I really do recognize everybody and every being as me. I remember I was at my friend's house last week. I think this was just last week, and we were sitting at the dinner table, and I had taken the plant medicine maybe like 10 minutes before we went down to eat dinner. And we were just sitting there, and I'm like listening to everybody talk. I'm looking at everybody, and I really felt like I don't know. I felt like I was looking at my children, or I felt like this, I don't know, just like this thing. And I'm like, wow, she is me. Like, she is literally me. That's so cool. Like, physically, she's completely different. She likes different things. Sometimes we like the same things. She's this age, she's older than me, this person is younger than me, this person's a baby, etc., etc. But I'm just looking at all the people around me and I'm like, it's so interesting because these people are literally me. And anything that had risen, like something they said out of like just subconscious habit, or when somebody like rolled their eyes at something, or the way the conversation was going, or just like little habits and patterns and all these things, like I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with every moment, where I know that sometimes if my ego was present, or if my ego was up and awake and ready to and just joining the party, that there are some things that my ego would have not been triggered by, but my ego would have made comments or made certain kind of judgments, whether they were good or bad, etc., etc. But I didn't feel like that. I felt like my ego was asleep. For some of you who don't know, I like to say ego sleep instead of ego death, because the ego does not die until the body dies. And so we go through these moments when we take plant medicines and like these beautiful psychoactive plant medicines, and sometimes, often, I lost my train of thought. Oh yes, ego sleep. Oftentimes through meditation, different yoga practices, etc., etc. All the beautiful things that people talk about in spiritual community. Sometimes it doesn't even happen like that. Sometimes you could be washing the dishes and you're like, whoa, this is a trippy experience. I'm washing dishes. What does that mean? And your ego's kind of just like away. Or, just when people disassociate and derealize, you don't have to be some shaman, you don't have to be on some spiritual journey, etc., etc. Sometimes it's just very normal situations. But anyway, I find that people who do incorporate very intentional practices experience ego sleeps often. And these past weeks, I've been having so many of those experiences, at least once a day. And it's just so beautiful in those moments, and it feels so calm and so peaceful. And I think back on the very recent times where I was just so incredibly anxious, and I don't want to necessarily say for no reason, because obviously it was there for a reason, but I just think back like, wow, in these moments I would be incredibly anxious, like just taking a walk to Central Park, not really so much with my friends, but just taking a walk to Central Park. Or even if I am with my friends, like I wouldn't necessarily be anxious, but I wasn't allowing myself to just fall deeply into the moment, to really be like, this is very beautiful. This is a beautiful experience. And I think last week I was really like, wow, this is very beautiful. And it brings a new form of appreciation to everybody around you, no matter where they are on their journey. I remember when I really started to experience all these crazy things, and my intuition was telling me that I needed to not be around a lot of people. I needed the time to myself. I needed to reflect on myself. I really needed to, get my healing started, which means that I needed to become a hermit. And so I think my ego was trying to help me, but I remember my ego being like, oh, these people are kind of low vibrational. I don't really want to talk to them. Like, you know how the egos are. I know not everybody may go through this, but a lot of people do. And my ego would say all these things, and now I realize that's just what it was. It was all ego. But I appreciate that part of me. I love that part of me. I do not judge that part of me. I don't reside in that mental state anymore, because there are certain things that are for me and certain things that are for other people, and we are all on the same highway, just in different lanes, and it all leads to one destination. So, of course, there are boundaries that are set. There are times where I would like my energy to go other places, or et cetera, et cetera. But that's just what it is. And then the ego comes in and makes a story behind it, and puts judgments and does all of these things. And then it's just about listening to the ego. Because I find sometimes that I slip back into those habits, especially when we're present in a situation where other beings are participating in things that my ego judges as not moral or not ethical, or something that I would feel is a result of lack of self-love, and et cetera, et cetera. And even if those things were true, that's not for me to judge. And it's definitely not for me to judge, because I still got my own things that I need to work out. I definitely still have my own things that I need to work out. And so it's just about me kind of telling my ego, I see what you're saying, but that's really not necessary, Then that's not me showing unconditional love. We need to show more, we just need to be unconditional to each other. We need to show unconditional love to each other. We really need to love each other. We do, we do, we do. We do. Hi, babe. Yes, I'm vlogging.